Hey there, everybody. I'm Caleb, and this is my partner,
Jarrod. What's going on, guys?
and this is the very first Let's Talk Nonsense video.
Woo!
We're pretty happy to be doing this, and it took us a long time to get the equipment to be able to do these, so if it looks kind of crappy, let us know. We're kind of new to all of this. Anyway, yeah, we're on video now.
That's right.
That's cool. And I actually told Jarrod to wear a tie and look presentable. He took that a different direction there, didn't you, buddy?
Well, yeah, I still think I look presentable, quite dapper, in fact. And you also did not say that I had to wear the tie around my neck. You should have specified.
Yeah, here at LTN, we have to be very specific with each other because none of us care for authority very much.
Not at all.
Specifically being told what to do by someone who has no authority.
We both fall neatly into that category.
Yeah. Anyway, this segment, very first video segment, but we're going to start doing video podcasts as well. We're excited about that. Those should be rolling out. We're hoping to do one this week, but we don't know if we're going to have the storage capacity and the time to edit it to get it out in time. So you may or may not see a video podcast coming out this week. But definitely by next month, we'll have some video podcasts rolling out. And this is going to be one of the segments in those video podcasts. We wanted to go ahead and release it because we looked around and saw that now that we're on the Mikasa Sukasa network with Nico House, shout out to Nico, by the way. Thanks for having us.
Indeed.
Yeah, since we got on here, we noticed that like a lot of people are doing really good news videos, and we were like, we could do a good news video, but then we realized we're kind of dumb.
Why would you call us dumb?
So this is our attempt at it. It's going to be called a shot of news, where Jarrod and I are going to scour the internet moments before recording to find the most fucked up things that we can and that we don't think are being talked about enough. We're going to bring them to you the only way we know how.
Like the amateurs that we are.
That's right, buddy. Now, because the stories we're going to cover are going to be a little bit fucked up, we decided to go ahead and have shots lined up and ready to go.
Thus, a shot of news.
We thought that was really, really clever. Anyway, let's talk some nonsense news. Jarrod, what do you have for us first today?
All right. Well, what do you know about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, Caleb?
That you're going to tell us about it.
That is absolutely right. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is the world's largest collection of floating trash. It lies between Hawaii and California, and is often described as being larger than Texas. In a 3-year study conducted by an international team of scientists with the Ocean Cleanup Foundation, 6 universities, an aerial sensor company, utilized 2 aircraft surveys and 30 vessels to cross the debris field, and what they found is startling. The patch is about 993,600 square miles. And
you got this, buddy.
I'm going to say this number again because it's huge. 993,600 square miles, up to 16 times larger than previous estimates. That makes it more than double the size of Texas, and it's estimated to contain at least 80,000 tons.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The bulk of the pile is made up of larger plastics, while only about 8% is microplastics, which is around 5 millimeters or less. The bulk of the pile, ghost nets, or discarded fishing nets, make up almost 50% of the trash, and researchers believe that around 20% of the total volume is debris from the 2011 Japanese tsunami. The patch itself is so large that last fall, environmentalists called on the UN to declare the Great Pacific Garbage Patch a country called the Trash Isles, complete with passports and its own currency, debris, in order to raise awareness to the problem. What is most fucked up about all of this is that this is in international waters, meaning that the world governments have been completely able to ignore this rapidly growing problem, and that we have to rely on privately funded groups such as the Ocean Cleanup Foundation. So basically they're just like, it's not in my backyard, it's not my problem.
Well, you know, man, I've actually got to take the side of our world leaders on this because when I was 5 years old, I learned this lesson and I'll never forget it. See, my brother had just been born, and I would make messes sometimes, but I figured if I put the mess on my brother's side of the room, I could blame him, and my mom would never know. See, and that's the thing. She never did. She never figured it out. Trust me, she never knew.
Fake news.
So, you know, I feel like our world leaders they're just using basic common sense. You know, it's not our mess because it's not on our property.
So therefore, you're comparing all of our world leaders to 5-year-olds?
Yeah, they all have the same mentality I had when I was 5.
5-year-old, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Great on them, man. I think they're common sense, salt of the earth kind of people.
Indeed. But at least something is finally being done. The Ocean Cleanup Foundation is actually spearheading a project to try and clean this up.
I just hope it's not too little too late. And I hope that they get enough support. I don't know that much about them. go look into them. I'm going to. Maybe support them. If I can donate to someone that,
That's a pretty good one to donate to.
Cleaning up a trash pile the size of Texas is something I don't...
it's double the size of Texas.
Double the size of Texas.
Yeah.
Well.
Fuck.
Yeah, that makes me kind of want to take the shot now.
Kind of does me too.
I'll just drink my beer.
That'll work. Cheers, buddy.
That's a drink of news. Now,
right. What have you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, I have a man in the UK. His name was Mark Meechan, and he was recently found guilty of a hate crime by a Scottish court. The hate crime, if you can call it that, and I will explain that qualifier later, was in the form of a video uploaded to YouTube in 2016. In the video, Meechan complained about the fact that his girlfriend's dog was too cute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not a bad problem to have.
No, no.
But then he declared on the video that he was going to influence it to act more like the worst thing he could imagine. And that turned out to be Nazis. Which,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I agree. Nazis are the fucking worst.
Yes, they are.
The issues that would arise to cause him to fight this legal battle came about when, in the video, he asked the pug if it would like to gas the Jews over 20 times.
Shit. Wow.
Yeah, he kind of screwed the pooch on that one, literally. Well, he didn't screw it. He just taught it to be a Nazi. Anyway, he also showed clips of the dog watching Nazi propaganda and raising its paw to Sig Heil, which, if you don't know what Sig Heil is, I'm not going to do it to show you.
Google it. We're not going to do it.
It's the popular Nazi salute. It was actually, I have to say, and this is about the only case I would ever say this, the pug was a little bit cute. I have to say,
it was a cute pug.
Raising its little paw. The fact that it was doing the Sig Heil was not cute at all.
No.
But it raising its paw, it kind of made me smile a little bit.
Yeah.
Meechan was charged and found guilty of sending by public means electronic communications network a message other matter that is grossly offensive or of an indecent or obscene or menacing character, and that is a mouthful.
Jeez, fuck yeah, it is.
British and Scottish laws apparently are not written with reading in mind, which I don't think American laws are either. But
no.
The sentencing sheriff, which is another thing apparently, the sheriff did the sentencing in this case.
That's pretty strange. It wasn't a judge, it was a sheriff. Yeah, that's odd.
He's paraphrased as saying that Meechan clearly knew what he was doing and that the content was clearly anti-Semitic. It remains unclear what the actual terms of the sentence will bring, but it is also worth noting that he followed up that particular video with another video in which he said that he harbors no ill will towards the Jewish community or faith, and that there was no evidence that anyone actually contacted the Scotland police and claimed that the video was grossly offensive or menacing. So it's a hard one for me. It's a hard one. Teaching any living thing to be like a Nazi is wrong in my book, period.
Agreed. It was a very stupid thing to do, but where does freedom of speech begin and end? Like, he literally just posted something that he himself said was satire.
Yep. And as people who do satire ourselves, or attempt to do satire ourselves,
we try. We dabble.
It's a scary thing, because this guy, when he was setting up the premise of this joke, he said specifically the reason he was teaching it to be a Nazi is because that was the worst thing he could think of.
Exactly.
So I don't think the dude is pro-Nazi.
He's not. He's obviously not. He said himself he's not. And he's not anti-Jew either.
A lot of people who are Nazis are capable of saying they're not, but this guy specifically, I don't think is.
No.
There's very little evidence to say he's pro-Nazi. What he said, asking the pug if it wants to gas the Jews, even once, is wrong. That was wrong. That's what screwed him. That's why he's in jail. But it's scary, man.
He shouldn't be in jail for that.
It's a little scary. I don't know. I'm on the fence. And if you are interested in this kind of topic, we're actually going to be discussing something very similar to this. Recent Facebook happenings with a transphobic joke that was told. We're going to be talking about that on the podcast. For those of you who are being introduced to us through this, we're sorry. But our podcasts are usually much more informed and interesting, though we are still fairly nonsensical. Yeah. That's why it's called Let's Talk Nonsense.
The name is apt.
Yeah, and, I don't know. Both of those things are terrifying, I would say.
I agree completely, honestly. It's pretty scary because, like I said, where does the line start and stop with free speech? If it's, I agree that what he said was stupid and that he shouldn't have said it, but I don't think he should be fucking punished by the government for it. I don't. Yeah. Because that's a scary line. Like, when does that line start inching further to where, when you say, oh, that policeman's stupid, or oh, that governor is an asshole, and then you're in jail for that? Where does that, it's a dangerous game they're playing, I feel like.
It is, but do you want to gas the Jews is pretty fucking far out there.
Oh, it's far out there.
Of wrong.
I agree that it's wrong that he said that. He shouldn't have said it.
It's just a question of whether or not. I mean, and ultimately, that's what we need to discuss on the podcast. I think it's a question of whether or not saying something that is unquestionably wrong is a jailable offense, and
it's just words, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll debate it later.
All right.
That's been
a shot of news.
A shot of news. I love whiskey. You good?
Oh yeah, better than.
Right. Well, we'd like to thank everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this, and as always, we know that we have things to learn.
Absolutely.
Hang on a second. Got to swallow. If you disagree with us, man, that is some strong whiskey.
Yeah.
By the way, what we're drinking is Devil's Cut. I would show you the label, but they don't sponsor us, so fuck them.
Not fuck them. Their liquor's good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's also very strong.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, thank you for watching. If you disagreed with us, we always encourage you. If you're listening to our podcast, if you're on our Facebook page, if you're on the Mikasa Sukasa website, and we're saying something you don't agree with it, come talk to us. We know we have things to learn.
Absolutely.
We're two dudes in the South. We grew up with a less than open-minded mentality, and
but we changed that.
We are, and we're still working on changing that. It takes constant work. So if we said something you didn't agree with, come engage us. Let us talk to you. And also drop a comment down below if you liked it, or you have advice on the video or things we're doing here that you think we could do better, which will be almost unending, I'm sure. Yeah. Just leave us a comment. Let us know, or you can visit us on the Mikasa Sukasa website that just got launched. mcscnetwork.com. That's going to have links to all the content. That's going to be Nico House's podcast, our podcast. It's going to have some articles. It's going to have a lot of news and updates from people who are way better at doing this than we are. And we're going to also leave some links to the articles that we read and some of the sources that we pulled this stuff to down in the comments. We'll also leave probably a link to the website in the comments as well, and our Facebook page. And that's been Let's Talk Nonsense video number 1.
Woo!
Shot of news. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Toodles.